Facebook recently overhauled the main area of the website. You'll notice on the left-hand side of the screen that we see a different layout a bit for the news feed, as well as events, friends, and all of that type of information. What they've done today, though, is to overhaul your profile page. This is a quick video overview of what's changed. Notice on the left-hand side you have what used to be formerly a top navigation area, so it matches a bit of what's going on the main part of Facebook now. As you navigate through this, you'll see that there is just a brief description of the same information at the top of somebody's page. You could get to all of the same things that would have been on the tabs before, such as info, photos, etc. as you go through. And then as you scroll down, you can see information about lists, and I'll show you how to make these lists public, as well as friends. And you used to be able to specify who you wanted in that friends list. Right now it doesn't let you necessarily change that information, and you now see extensions for family that were not available before. So to find out how to change some of these things, you could go in to edit your profile. So when we go to edit profile, you'll see a few new boxes that were not there previously, such as philosophy, arts and entertainment, and sports. If I were to go into, for instance, philosophy, it adds in a who's an inspirational person, who inspires you most that you might not have listed before. Same thing with arts and entertainment. That's pulling in information that you basically had before, but you may also be able to add in some other things that you would never bothered to fill out previously that's reorganized here. The next section is sports, and you'll see that I've already gone in to include my favorite teams. You could list off your favorite athletes and sports that you play here as well. So that's a little bit different. But the next thing that I want to spend a little time with is this section called relationships. In the relationships area, what matters here is that not only can you change out further information about who your relatives are and what that term is for that relative. So it could be an aunt, an uncle, something along those lines. But then as you scroll down further, you can see that there is a few featured lists that you can make publicly available. So I actually went in and customized these lists. One of the areas it says is to create a new list. So if you do not have a list yet, you could go in and make a new list, and in that new list, as soon as it goes public, it will show up on somebody else's profile. So to see an example of that, let's take a look here at, let me open another Facebook tab and open up Mari's window. Earlier I went in prepping to record this video, I had created a Facebook profile list and went to make that public on my personal profile, meaning I wanted to add people to this list that were not fans or fan pages. I wanted to add people in that were just a friend that I have in my Facebook list and send that out and make it publicly available so that it would display. You'll see in doing so that Mari Smith got notified that I put her onto a list that is public. At first it was a bit confusing, but if we go over here to look at my profile page, you'll see where that shows up. So let's click on profile. And if I scroll down a little bit, you'll see right there is Mari Smith at the top of the techies list. So confusing a bit, but what you need to know is that if you put somebody on one of these public lists, meaning techies in my case, where I made a GFYD list as well, if you put people on either of these lists, what that translates into is they're going to get a notice saying, oh, by the way, so-and-so added you to a public list. Facebook doesn't limit you from being put onto these lists so far as I can find in our security settings yet. So that's a bit of a drawback there. So when we're looking at editing our profile, again, we're under relationships. In that edit profile area, you could either create a new list or use an existing list or group that you are a part of, and you just check off the thing that you want to add it to and then click add, and this would function similar to a Twitter public list when that goes out available. So it's interesting information for you to know about. At this time, people can't also follow one of your other lists, so there's a lot of questions and concerns as to what that really means for your overall Facebook privacy settings. So it's kind of up in the air. The next thing to take note of in changes in your profile is here is a list of some photos that are taken of me or that I've been tagged in. Any one of these things, if I wanted to change any one of these, simply putting my mouse over it and in the top right corner seeing that X to hide a photo, that would be a quick way to remove that photo from my profile, from displaying. Most of them I like. This doesn't remove it from me being tagged in it, it just removes it from this little preview area. The reason I might want to do this is sometimes they don't frame the pictures right. Like here you see this darling girl with her head chopped off, or in this case my forehead and up is gone. So that's just basic information to be aware of. And the last thing is under photos, you see the photos will now display similar to how it displays on the main photos page of the rest of Facebook. If I keep scrolling down, you'll see a mixture of photos and videos that I am tagged in over the years. So that's all information that's there. That's the gist of what's going on different inside of a profile on your own side. Let's take a look at what's real quickly just different on somebody else's profile. We'll look at Jessie Stays. You'll notice that if I want to post to as well, the area to post to as well is still listed here. It doesn't give me a big box to type in though. And the other thing that's going to be different is the send message and the poke options are in the top right corner. The new feature where we can see each other's friendship, view all the comments back and forth that we've ever had, is listed here. And then this area where we could go view our mutual friends and other interests or things that were tagged in together, all of that information is now in this location. So that's the differences when I'm looking at somebody else's profile. Navigating around in my own, some of these things are going to look a little different in those places, but that's the gist of the Facebook changes on your own Facebook profile as of today. This is Courtney Engel.